Champions League group stage starts today, and I am very excited for it. Let's get into it. Yes, hello, welcome on into 11 Sports here for the Killie boys on Football Manager 21. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button for more daily Football Manager content. And if you missed the last episode, go and have a wee look at it. It was kind of a deadline day specialist type thing, as well as Champions League group stage draw. And you will find out in that episode who we have in the Champions League group stage. I mean, to be honest, the title of this video's probably spoiled it a little bit, but you know, you'll at least get some of the drama. Not if you've looked at the screen, you see who we've got. But anyway, go and have a look at it if you haven't seen it already. Since the last episode, we've only played the one game. It was up against Hamilton. We won it 4-0. Jovic getting a goal, 2 from Lambert and 1 from Alfredo. Unfortunately, we did get an injury to Jovic in that game, so he does unfortunately miss today's game up against Borussia Dortmund. Today we do play against Dortmund in our first Champions League group stage game of the season, and then we play Rangers in the Scottish Premiership in a Friday night special on the television. Hey, look at that, 2 TV games in a row, and you get to watch them both here. I know, I'm treating you. But let's show you the team for this game up against Dortmund. Right, so here we are, and here is the team we're going to play up against Dortmund. A couple of changes from a kind of typical full strength lineup. You can see still injured are Guerrero, George Pena's injured, Francisco's injured, Jovic is injured, and Nketiah's still injured. Few players are unregistered as well. Kieran Tierney's struggling for fitness, and both our right backs are struggling for fitness as well. But we are going to play with Rodriguez on the right hand side. Now, explain a little tactical change we've made as well. Francois is going to go and goal with Perez and Anderson centre back as always. Carrasco's going to cover on the left as he has been doing when we have not had Guerrero, and Rodriguez is going to play on the right hand side but as a no nonsense fullback. Instead of the complete wing back on support like we normally have, he's going to play as a no nonsense fullback. Basically acts 3 centre backs. The 3 of these boys will stay back at all times, hopefully negating any attacking threat that Dortmund may have. Fingers crossed anyway. Vlalic and Stacey in the midfield with Hamo just in front of them because we are without Jovic today. Lambert on the right, Demao out on the left after he played well on the left in the last game you saw against Dundee United, and Alfredo gets the call up front. We've got players like Alcatraz and Boba on the bench to play in those attacking positions, Lunin and Pena to play in midfield, Tierney and Sika can cover in the full back positions. Let's get into this. I'll be honest, I'm not expecting a win against Dortmund. They're a pretty good team, and obviously they won Bundesliga last year. In fact, the last 2 years they've won it. But you never know, maybe we can cause an upset. Looking at the names in the Dortmund team, obviously we're 10, 11 years in the future now, so a lot of names I don't recognise because they're probably regions, but Donnarumma and goal being their captain, he's a pretty decent goalkeeper, as I'm sure you guys know. They may have gone with 2 up front, it says here, so they're going 4-4-2. So hopefully we can get an overrun in the middle of the field. And the teams step out here. We are in Dortmund at Signal Iduna Park. Dortmund playing in their yellow and Kilmarnock playing in their blue and white stripes. And Carrasco's got a tight calf to begin with, but we will ignore that and let him stay on the field. He appears to have recovered from it. 20 minutes gone, no shots yet. And the first half's about to come to a close here. Not one highlight in it, but we have picked up an injury here, and Carrasco's struggling as well. I think we'll take off Carrasco and bring on Tierney. Tierney getting his first piece of European action for Kilmarnock here, and Demao struggling. So we'll bring on Boba to play on that left-hand side for him. 2 injuries at the end of the first half here. Not ideal, but it has reached half-time, and it's 0-0. No highlights at all in that first half. You saw everything that happened. I'll say I'm fairly pleased if we can keep it as a 0-0 draw. That would be a successful result away in Dortmund. CSKA Moscow had taken a 1-0 lead against Atletico Madrid, but Atletico pulled one back. You can see here we've now played an hour and there's not been a highlight. We've really kept this game very, very quiet indeed. But this is the first highlight of the game we get to see here. And here come Dortmund. Cezai in the middle of the park. Hits it. It's wide of the goal. Not very good at all. And another highlight immediately after the ball cleared away. Lambert heads it on, and Kushieri has it back to Donnarumma. Donnarumma plays the ball down the left-hand side. And Rodriguez is not going to get there. Instead, Guerrero for Dortmund does. Perez tries to challenge him, but he swings it back and the ball's cleared away. And it's blittered out toward the right-hand side of Dortmund, and they collect the ball here, and Lazarito at right back finds Cezai. Cezai drives infield. Well, he hit it well. It's a great save from Francois. Deserves a goal, said the text commentary down the bottom, but I don't think so. A great save, and Cezai swings in this corner and it's headed away, and Alfredo's got this ball here and he has got one man to beat if he can do it. Lambert's bombing down the right to help him. Oh, he gets challenged. He should have held on to that ball a little bit longer instead of running into the defender, and we could have had a chance there. See, we've only had 2 shots in the whole game. Dortmund have had 9. We've had more of the ball though, which is very interesting indeed. Dortmund have another chance here. Atletico have just went up 2-1 against Moscow. It's a good save from Francois. And now it means we're in 3rd position. Moscow on 0 points. Atletico Madrid up on 3 points, having been ahead in their game. And Dortmund on 1 point with us. Boba heads that ball on. Curry plays it to Lazarito. Back to Curry and Lazarito and Cezanne. His ball's played forward, but Anderson intercepts it. Finds Tierney. And Vlalic, using that deep line playmaker role, finds Boba on the left-hand side. He drives infield. The ball finds Hamill. Hamill comes. He hits it. Oh, that's wide of the goal. Not good at all. We've got some players who are a little bit dead on their feet in the middle of the park, as well as in attacking areas. I think we'll bring on Alcatraz for Edward Lambert for the last 15 minutes of the game. I'll just say I'll encourage the full team to see if that makes us play a little bit better for the last 5 minutes of this game. But it looks like we might hold on. But there's a late highlight, and I probably just cussed it by saying that, didn't I? The ball played forward. Perez back to Francois. The ball out to Tierney now. And maybe it could be a chance of our own. The ball played forward. Alfredo chases onto it. He gets the ball. That's a handball from Donnarumma, surely. No? It looked like he was out his goal when he handled that. Out his box, I should say. But no, apparently not. I thought there was a great chance that could have been a handball. But unfortunately, no. We've managed to get a 0-0 draw away in Dortmund, which is no mean feat at all. Look at that defensive performance from the team. 7.7 for Francois. The defenders all above 7, apart from Tierney, who'd only come on at half-time. Going forward, we really didn't do much, even though we had a lot of the ball. But I'll take that. A 0-0 draw away to Dortmund. Probably the toughest game. Maybe Atletico's just as tough as well. But one of the toughest games of this group stage. And we've got a 0-0 draw. And Atletico ended up winning that game 3-1, which means that they top the table, obviously. CSK Moscow below us. Looking at the other games today, Rangers 0-0 against Chelsea. So they get a point as well to start their campaign. And it's Rangers who we play in just a couple of days' time. And we'll see you then for that one. There might be a few changes in the squad because, only 3 days between these games. Some of these players might be a little bit tired. Right, so before we jump into this game against Rangers, just a quick look at the league table over my head there. You can see everyone's played 5 games. We've got 13 points, 4 wins, and that draw against Motherwell, which is a bit annoying seeing as they're bottom of the table. Rangers are just 1 point behind us, so if they beat us, they will go ahead of us, but we can get a nice 4-point advantage over them should we win our game. Our next league game, which you won't see unfortunately, is against Hibs. So a win against Rangers and against Hibs in the next 2 games could give us a lovely wee cushion at the top of the table. Fingers crossed that happens. But the first one we have to beat is Rangers. After that really good performance in Dortmund midweek, we now need a good performance here at Ibrox on the Friday night. And here is a team that is going to do. I've accidentally already gone into the match, so I've had to jump out and show you the tactics. We're going to go with Francois in goal, Sika, Perez, Anderson and Kokatovic at the back. Kokatovic's filling in at left back because Guerreno's still injured. Carrasco's struggling for fitness, as is Tierney. So remember that time I signed all those left backs and everyone all laughed at me because I've signed too many left backs? Well, I've used all 4 of them this year, so I must have been right. Vlalic and Pena get the game in the middle of the park with Hamill just in front of them. Lambert on the right. Bowen gets the game on the left-hand side because we've got some injuries to Demau and Ketia, Jovic, Castle. Lots of attacking players are injured. And Boba gets the game up front. The attacking players on the bench, Alcatraz, Alfredo, Stacey, Blair, Lunin, Hopefully we get this game quite comfortably won. Fingers crossed. Looking at the team playing against us, it still contains Kokovas and Radovan Lukic, 2 former Kilmarnock players always. It's always nice playing against Rangers. A wee bit of a revenge game for those players against us, but also we just kind of want to show off to them that we are the better team. I know that Rangers won the league last year frustratingly, but we're better, aren't we? That's what we want to say to them anyway. And the game kicks off, and hopefully there are more highlights in this game than there was in the last one, because the last one was pretty boring for you guys at home, I imagine. This might be a record for the least number of highlights ever in an episode of the Killie Boys, because again, we're ticking down towards half time here and there has not been a highlight. The first one of the game, 40 minutes in, Alzate with it, comes forward, tries to come through our midfield. Vlalic does not make the tackle. Hamill tackles Lukic though, and Lukic goes down like a sack of potatoes, but he plays the ball through to Kone. It's a great save from Francois. Francois has played 540 minutes without conceding a goal this season at 6 games, which is very impressive indeed. Alzate swings the ball in and it's cleared away. I feel sorry for Ryan Morris, who's going to be our keeper of the future, but Francois just appears to be so much better. And here's a highlight just before the end of the half. Remember, we are playing in our white strip today. Sika with it, back to Lambert. Lambert, Sika again. Can he swing the ball into the back post? Oh, it's tipped onto the bar by the goalkeeper. Kokatovic can't swing the ball in. And we reach half-time now, with the score being 0-0. Only a couple of highlights. Fairly boring again. Don't get me wrong, I'd take a 0-0 draw away at Ibrox, but I would like the win. I don't really want 2 0-0 draws for this episode. That'd be a little bit boring. And Edward Lambert has picked himself up an injury. That's not how you say words, but we're going to go with that anyway. So we'll bring on Alcatraz for him. Move Boba out to the left-hand side and bring Alfredo on for Jared Bowen up front. I think this could be quite a useful substitution. Before I make any shouts, I'll see what happens with this highlight. Kokatovic on the left-hand side gets challenged by Mina. And Acevedo with it, and Kone, and the ball's played forward toward McDowell. McDowell, he hits. It's a great save from Francois. This boy is outstanding in that command goal, keeping the club captain Ryan Morris out of a game, and it's cleared away by Kokatovic towards Alfredo. And I'll just say to the guys, demand a little bit more. Tijani here at the back for Rangers finds Kokavas. The ball's played forward toward McDowell, and just as I was complimenting Francois, oh, that's the first goal he's conceded in quite a long time, and it was a simple goal for Rangers to score really here. See, Kokavas gets the ball, he just plays the ball long over the top, in behind the defence, and the keeper should have done better. And Rangers are up 1-0. We'll bring on Sibley for Vlalic in the middle of the park here. I'm going to try and encourage the full team. 10 minutes to go now, and there's an injury to Kokatovic. And we've already used our 3 substitutions. This is not good at all. We'll bring Hamill on as a deep line playmaker, move Sibley to left back, and we'll play without an attacking midfielder for the last few minutes. Going to go to an attacking mentality and see if we can score a goal here. There is a chance right at the end of the game. I don't know who it's going to go to. Rangers have got the ball just now. Kokavas with it down the line to Alzate, and Acevedo finds Reid on the right hand side. He goes past his man. Will he hit it? He does. It hits the side netting though, and it's still 1-0 Rangers. There's 6 minutes added time. Can we do anything here? Kokavas throws it into Kone and Alzate. And Alzate finds Acevedo and Tijani, and Acevedo out to, I'm not going to try and say his name, Hormazabal, something like that. Kokavas back to Tijani. There's lots of pressure here from Rangers. And it's through to Alzate. Oh no, my goodness, that is a great save from Francois. He let in 1 goal, but I tell you what, we've had 10 shots on target. Only 1 of them went in for Rangers. That's not bad at all from our goalkeeper. He had a 7.8, clearly the best player in the game. Everyone else below a 7. Not a good day at the office at all there. And 2 very disappointing performances and results. Well, maybe not performances. The one against Dortmund was alright, but 2 disappointing results in this episode, which is unfortunate after how well we started the season. So that leaves us in second position, you can see, but everyone else has got a game in hand on us, so we could very easily be as low as 3rd, but no lower than that if Hibs and Celtic win their games. Celtic would need to win, 8-0 to get ahead of us in the league table. Don't think that's going to happen. So the lowest we could be is 3rd after the rest of this round of fixtures. And Kokatovic is out for 4 to 5 weeks, and as is Edward Lambert. I tell you what, that's 11 games without losing in the league we'd done until that stage, stretching all the way back to April of the previous season, so it's now at the end of September. That was a long time. I know we had a summer break in the middle of it though, but you can see we'd only conceded a couple of goals. The 2 times we've conceded goals were against Rangers there, and then against Rangers when we lost there. Disappointing indeed. So looking at the schedule, we'll come back for a CSK Moscow game, and I think what I'll do, instead of showing you Celtic, because I often show you Rangers and Celtic, especially later on in the season, I think I'll do the second CSK Moscow game, and I'll show you the game against Hearts. I could have picked, Wraith or St Mirren either side of that one, or Celtic or Hearts either side of this one. And Hearts is a team we don't often get to see us play unless they finish in that top 6 split. So let's do that. CSK Moscow and Hearts at the start of November. It means you've got just a kind of month and a half. There's what, 2, 4, 6, 8 games between now and then. Hopefully it can be 8 wins. We will see what happens. But yeah, coming back for that Hearts, CSK Moscow first, and then Hearts, those 2 games there. Hopefully, by that stage in the Champions League, maybe we could have got a point against Atletico Madrid, and we hopefully have beaten CSK Moscow at home. If not, we might need to have a win against CSK Moscow to get us into that 3rd place we're looking for. And then a game against Hearts could be an important one in the Premiership as well, depending how we've got on. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a thumbs up, hit a like. It really does help out the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until the next one, we'll see you then.